just using it for gaming, just not really knowing about all the implications that they have, or watching videos in TikTok or YouTube, but not much more. And the implications are like, as you are used to use all different kind of technologies for your work or for your studies. Also, one group mentioned that they had a tougher time in in doing a task by writing notes on a sheet of paper instead of writing it online. It's different for this group. So young kids are forced to use technology means to take part in school. And as they are forced, yeah, sure, they gather knowledge, but also they are forced still. And as I said, the results are devastating. The level of pressure on this very young generation is huge. So the results are so bad in terms of what they report for being emotionally exhausted and stressed by this situation, by this setup, by this way of learning, is not very good. Also, the learning curve, when we also ask them to compare their performance before COVID in the regular offline scenario at school, and in this scenario, they all also all agree that their performance has dropped. And also, last but not least, some of them also mentioned that something like conflicts increased. Although they don't see each other and they have social distancing, they experience more conflicts. Interesting to have. You want to experience that if they're all at the same place and in the school, that might be more affecting for developing conflicts. But no, interesting, the opposite is the case. Reasoning is also quite simple, that they don't have the chance to talk to each other, or they just barely have the chance to talk to each other and trying to solve those conflicts. Also conflicts with the teachers. So, yeah, still extending the study. If some of you has any close contact to middle schools like Mittelschule, Hauptschule, Realschule, or Gymnasium, please let me know. Because, yeah, we already have a lot of people who took part in the study, like around 300, but that could be more. And we just recognized the larger the value and the larger the group of people. So if you have any close contacts to one of such schools that might be open to share our questionnaires, whether it's in Germany, Austria, or someplace else, like, I don't know, Italy, or wherever you're coming from, just let me know. It would be helpful. Just distributing this questionnaire. So far it's in German, but we would also be able to translate it into English or, I guess, different languages. So thank you very much. And yeah, that's how I'm currently affected by this topic. Today, I would like to talk about a very special kind of research method that is, so to say, the exotic one of all those that we have. Usually, I already said that by the beginning of end of the last seminar, this course is usually structured in a way that we first talk about interviews, then about surveys, and about experiments, and then about the second path. And this one is usually the very last one. So because it's a very exotic one, and I would say even not every researcher has the opportunity to use such tools in his work, although it really opens up your mind and opens up your perspective. However, with a distinct number of luck, the majority of you will write their master thesis in the summer term next year. So they have one semester left, and I guess in summer term we have a switch back to normal. So you might be able to do different things in terms of your master thesis. And the reason I'm telling you that is at the Institute of Information Systems in Innsbruck, we have an eye tracking lab. And a lot of facilities where you can work with. So if you might be interested in writing your master thesis, looking for a more neurophysiological tool topic, let me know. So there might be opportunities to do so again, because I sincerely hope that things will open up then. So just so to say as the background. Okay, before I start, let me just check something. How can I do that? Like up. So all right, use just for. All right. Okay. As I said, this is the third part of this course, and after this part, Ronald will take over. And already told you about that. We have, so to say, pre-planned all the seminar sessions because he's currently located in Vienna and not that much integrated in the study. So I take care of the structuring of the course. So if there are any questions about it, just let me know. But and I also have the opportunity to talk to Ronald all the time. But I guess as he's in Innsbruck for quite some years, usually there shouldn't be any problems. And he taught this course before, so he knows what he's going to talk about. But might be a little different to the part that I had. Be sure that the first date of his work will be May 20th. And so we have a span of 2 weeks till the mid-exam, and then another 2 weeks till Rona takes over. Good. So, what are we going to talk about today? You recall this lady, and we definitely also recall about what we're really studying in information systems research. Well, we will we change our focus to her and what she thinks of the systems and how she's affected by the systems. Today, we grab some information based off the system about her. So what we already had during those studies about what we heard about eye tracking, what we heard about technostress studies measured by skin conductance, measured by pupil dilation, measured by gathering hormones like the cortisol. There we trying to gather data from the machine about her and the way how she's working. All right. Just seen a private chat. Thanks for that. Thanks for the note. One of you just reported to me that he might have some contact about the study. Thank you so much. I will. I contact you after the course. Thank you. And where is it commonly applied? We heard that in some parts. We heard that it's commonly applied in UX research and interface design. So why you should care a little bit, at least. Because this is for the tech giants, this is one of the 3 major pillars that they have in their work. First is developing the artifact. So if you want to be a software developer and if you care much about code, you will find a job for sure. This is what the big ones care about. The second one is big ones. What I'm talking about is all those tech giants, like all the social medias, like Facebook's, but also like companies like Apple, Google, or Salesforce, I don't know, something like that. And they care about sales, like selling their products. But the third pillar that they have is they care about user experience research. And this is exactly what this stuff is located in. So how can you design an interface that you can direct a distinct user purpose? So what they can do and what they're working on. And this is pretty much interesting because I had a lot of former colleagues and also former students, in particular in my former destinations, and they work at Google now because they really care about that stuff. And so in this way, if you're interested in designing interfaces and using fancy tools, that might be an interesting way to proceed your further career. Or you stay in academia, what I would hope, because we have a lot of interesting stuff to do as well. Okay, so this is what we talk about within this lecture. And what I'm going to show you is at first provide you an overview about all those neurophysiological tools and their application. Then I took one. Why exactly this one? I took the eye tracking example because I have done a lot of eye tracking research in the past, and basically I was one of the few people, like maybe 10 or so, in the global community who started to apply eye tracking on information systems research questions that were formerly answered by just doing surveys or interviews. But in fact, I was at a certain point in time, I was a little annoyed by just using all those similar methods all the time. So I will provide you more details about eye tracking, or I would skip those parts that we've already discussed in seminars. And then I take an extensive research in a nutshell section to tell you about one of my major projects that I had that was driven by a company, but it also had a significant impact in research. All right. Okay, Leah is not able to hear me. I don't know, Leah. Does anyone else has the problem that he or she doesn't hear me? Okay, for one, it's fine. I don't know. Okay, Leah, then it might be problem at your side. Yeah, Marcel, so I try to log out and try it again. Just mostly as a reset is always the easiest answer in terms of. Okay, yeah, try so. Okay, and yeah, we'll talk about a project that I had a couple of years ago where I started to apply eye tracking in practice, and what was pretty interesting, but it took a long time to transport to research and to build a paper based on that. So, talking about neurophysiological tools, why are we doing that? And we heard a couple of reasons based on it, because why they are less subjective. So using them is different compared to self-reports. Usually in this course you would start with doing just self-reporting, using scales in surveys and using scales in interviews, which has the problem that it always is the subjective viewpoint of the individual that you ask questions. So while using such data, it's less subjective, because it's really hard to fake out. Although I'm not entirely sure if it's not possible. But in terms of pupil dilations, one group has mentioned that. I guess it's very, very difficult to fake that in a certain kind of way, and it's used, for example, in lie detection tests. And is anyone for you will ever have the chance to sit in front of such a service? It's also mostly measured in terms of pupil dilations nowadays. And important is that it's not limited to concise awareness. That means that people not necessarily have to understand something and being aware of something. I told you about the story that I have conducted recently. I was asked about where eye tracking was applied. But we're interested if people are aware based on peripheral vision, not necessarily, okay, I've seen it, based on particular design cues in email programs, if they are able to detect phishing or not. So that was exactly such an example. We were not asking him, okay, have you seen this? Have you seen that? Have you seen that? No, we were just reporting that based on the eye tracking data. And giving all that is the whole topic is not that old. It was brought up to the whole IS field back in 2011, 2010, 2012. And one of the major first papers was written by Benjaka, Dimoka, and colleagues. And they said, okay, the promise of NeurIS is to complement existing research with tools that can provide reliable data, which are difficult or even impossible to obtain with traditional tools such as self-reports, for example. And this is in fact the truth. But still, the field is in some ways a little bit struggling, because I will show you some tools that are very fancy and they're very expensive. But still, the question always arises, is the added value that those tools provide that much better than just having self-reports? So this is always the question that you have, so to say, with the promise of NeuroIS. And those in particular